Jay Massey is a full-time real estate investor. He's an entrepreneur.
He also teaches people how to find deals, raise capital for real estate investments.
Meeting Jay Massey in person, you'd think he's just a regular guy. He's got jeans and a t-shirt on and a pair of sneakers. But he's built up a multi-million-dollar empire.
I hope you do have an empty notebook because it's going home filled.
Jay gives back so much value that I've never seen.
Now, at this moment, when I'm looking at the kitchen, things are going through my head.
You want to be friends with him, and he treats you like you're the only person in the room, even though it's for the benefit of everybody.
This is how, when you ask yourself, how does Jay do it? This is how.
He tells people that they have to take action, and they have to take action now. I took the action, and the results have paid off.
What happens when the marketplace understands who we are and how we go out there? All right, people. It looks like we are finally live. It looks like we are moving. Things are moving around on the screen. It has been a very interesting Sunday for me. I don't know how interesting of a Sunday for you it has been, but hopefully it's been going well. Now, we are, since, you know, some of you, if you're here for the first time, just let's go ahead and take care of some of the basic stuff. Just go ahead and type in the chat the word FIRST, F-I-R-S-T. Whether you are on YouTube and or Facebook, either way, please, the word FIRST is what I would love to see in the chat, because we are, since everything blew up, I mean, for those of you who have not been attending or coming around, we've been going live every day at around 8 a.m. Pacific time. And this morning, it all blew up, like literally blew up, locked up, couldn't figure it out, and it took a long time. I had to rebuild a lot of the graphics and all the other stuff. Anyway, I'm not complaining, because in the process of redoing some things, we were able to correct some other things, obviously, and get it all fixed up. So this is good. But one of the things I need is every one of you to type something in the chat at some point during the time that we are here today, because we are testing some of the new things that we have now put in place, and it doesn't work if you guys don't type in the chat. That's one of the things it absolutely needs, is you guys to type in the chat. Anyway, with that being said, for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Jay, CEO of Cashflow Diary, and what we do is we help you become bigger, better, badder entrepreneurs, and in general, these streams are aimed at building you. I was taught a long, long time ago that if you build the people will build the business. Hopefully that makes sense. If you build the people will build the business. So on our 8 a.m., normally 8 a.m. Pacific time streams, what we talk about are the subjects, the topics, the things that can help build you into a better human, which means you could be a better spouse, a better husband, a better friend, a better wife, better dad, better everything, son, daughter, what have you. Because those same skill sets transfer when it comes over to business. Now, many of you know that we spend a lot of our time in the real estate space, and that is not what we are doing here at this particular time, the real estate space, that is. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that's there. And yes, the goal is to, I guess, help you grow. And in order to be good at business, you also have to be good at many, many other things. Anyway, I don't want to disappoint anyone. Just want to make sure that you know that, hey, if you are looking for the information regarding the short-term rentals and what it is that we do, we will be making that obviously available to you. Our next event is on this Wednesday and Thursday. So if that's something that you are wanting to take on, wanting to understand, it's time for you to build your skill, if that's what you're thinking, then join us. Go to cashflowdiary.com/learn live. Again, that's cashflowdiary.com/learn live. So that will, and oh, I just want to make sure you guys know, Wednesday and Thursday, it's going to be all day, 2 days. all day. So block out the calendar and just be ready. Bring a notepad and just know that it's going to be all day. And that's what we're going to make sure that we get that done. Now, this is, like I said, you guys know it's been interesting today. As I've said, it's been very, very interesting. And oh, this is good. So for those of you who are on Facebook, it does look like some of the upgraded things that we've been trying to do are coming through, but for some reason, it's not coming through everywhere. For example, there is no name or face to that one. It was supposed to be there, but it's not. So, but we're getting there. We're getting there because I'm trying to make the comments look better than what they normally do as well. So we'll keep pressing on. I guess that's the word. We'll keep pressing on. Now, I want to get into today's topic. I was going to say this morning, but today, right? I want to get into today's topic, and I also want to remind everyone. Back when we first started at the beginning of the month, I said that we were going to go live every day in the month, mostly because it started out as a challenge to myself. Could I do it? Would I be able to do it? And I knew there would be challenges along the way. I didn't know what there would be. I knew that I would be given many opportunities to disappoint those of you who would be here. And that's what I didn't want to experience. I did not want to experience like what happened this morning. And it still happened. That is part of the journey for all of us, and I just want to make sure that that's clear. But also, we talked about, in the first week, we talked about building your skills, adding more skills, taking this time to add more skills to your repertoire. In fact, one of the things that we did or talked about was the idea of learning a new language. So, and you guys gave us some suggestions. And like I said, myself, my wife, and the 12-year-old who's here, we've been batting back and forth, like what language did we think we were going to learn? Well, this is what's interesting is that, my oldest daughter actually it goes to college right now and has a new language that she is practicing and learning as well. And I figured that this would be a good time for her to practice. So she's going to be here right along with me. I'm getting ready to, and now you won't be able to hear her and it'll make sense in a second, but she's also practicing her skills. Because remember, skills is how this whole world works. So as you can see now, right there, there's another person practicing their skills, making the most of the opportunity, making the most of the time that we all have here together. So that's kind of a Massey thing, right? Keep practicing skills, keep doing something. So whatever it is that you guys feel like you need to do, then just take that next step and start getting it done, right? One of the things along that line, we set the title of this one, as you saw, the title of this one is all around goals. And then it was also about goals versus systems. And then it says, which is better? Which is it's a subtle hint at this thing that we all do as humans. We compare ourselves to other people. We just do. And whether it's good for us or not, we still get it done. We still make sure, we still find a way to do exactly that. So what it comes down to is, it's just a matter of making sure that we have proper context. So what I wanted to do is I want to talk about goals, and I just realized, Ayana, Jasmine, can you yeah, just a little bit. So I want to talk about the goals versus a system, and then we're going to talk about comparison. Because as we go through this process, this time of, we'll call it transformation, rebuilding of all of us, there are certain things that I want to make sure that we all have in common in our minds when it comes to goals. For example, when you think about a goal, One of the challenges with most of us when it comes to thinking about a goal is that once we have set it, once we have decided upon it, it becomes, well, all we think about is the goal in and of itself. And that also is the beginning of where the problem starts. So, that chair out the way. So here's what I mean. Oh yeah, that's good. Here we go. Everything. And then where's the other one? This has turned out to be really good, Jesline. Like this, I mean, I thought it was a halfway decent idea right there. All right, so we've got goals versus system. The two go together, and yet, unfortunately, too many times we spend most of our time focused on this. Like I haven't hit the goal yet, right? For the sake of this conversation, do me a favor. I'm curious now, just one, okay, just one. In the next 90 days or 13 weeks, however you divide up your year calendar, what is one goal that you have? Just type that in the chat. One, not 12, one. Not one really long goal with a whole bunch of commas in it, like you trying to put them all in there. What is one, like what is the most important, the goal of all goals? If this one thing happened for you for the next 90 days, sometime during the next 90 days, the next 13 weeks, if this one thing happened, what would go, wow, that was a very productive, that was a useful, that I had success through those 90 days, just one thing, okay? Camille says, get my realtor's license. Okay, I like that. So we're gonna write some of these down. Realtor's license, got it. Let me see what else we've got. Get my website and videos up. Okay, so I see my other daughter is also paying attention. She's trying to get her website going. I like it. All right, so I see we've got website, and then we've got STR. That makes a lot of sense to me. What else do we've got? We got STR more than once here, so this is good. All right, my point is, and Camille, yes, I did see them on Periscope, but it's still, the rest of the software still wasn't working, but thank you. Thanks for trying. I don't know why. We'll keep digging and figuring it out. But 1, 2, this is, what color was I writing? Pink, got it. So we've got the realtor's license, your website, your first short-term rental, excellent. When we set a goal, part of, like I said, the challenge is that we stay focused on the goal. And then time goes by, and occasionally we stay so focused on the goal, the end of the time frame we set happens, and then we wonder, how come I didn't hit it? Well, setting goals is important, but it's the system, hear me clearly, it's the system that gets us there. It's not consistently reminding myself of this goal. Remember when I said when I plan the day, you put the number one goal and then the top 3 objectives? Reminding myself of that goal is important, but focusing on the system that helps me get one step closer to that goal is everything. And I tend to define that this way. G, P, T. So this triangle it's like it's the system. It literally is the system to make sure that instead of just writing down another goal that becomes or could become meaningless over time, you now, well, have a system in place that helps you to actually achieve the goal. So regardless of what were some of the other goals, let me see if there was anything else put in here. Whoops, wrong, scroll down. Get there, your direct booking site is running. So I like that for sure. And Peter, we're gonna be talking a lot about that. Get credit repaired. Okay, cool. Uh-oh, that was loud. That's good. Credit repaired. In fact, there's gonna be a need for a lot of that after all this stuff is over. So goal, plan, track. So cool. Now you got the goal. You wrote something down. The question is focusing just on that going to make it happen? The answer is no, but yet it's what we do. Here's why the next step has to be putting in place a plan. Your plan. What is the plan that is going to make it happen? See, this entire triangle is the system. And earlier we did an exercise called, or that I like to call just before that, meaning if this is the goal of building your direct booking website or getting your short-term rental or getting your, my 12-year-old decided that she wants to start a, what is it, lip gloss? Lip gloss and chapstick thing. So what that meant is that she needed startup capital to get it done. So what she's been doing is literally selling anything she can find in the house online, taking that money, then buying the inventory that she needs. So, but for each of these goals, no matter what it is, go that way. Okay, for each of these goals, no matter what it is, the question is the answer. The question is the answer, meaning what happens just before that? For example, if it's a realtor's license, just before you get it, now remember, what we're doing is working on the plan. So we're gonna work on the plan. If I wanted the realtor's license, what happens just before I get it? Just before I get my realtor's license, I have to pass the test. Just before I pass the test, I have to take the test. Before I can take the test, I have to schedule that test. Before I schedule that test, I probably should register, which may mean I need a sponsor by a broker. And if I don't have that, what happened just before that is that I had to look for a sponsor. And let's just say that that's where we are. That's the step. So because this is a plan, your plan, in order to get this goal, when you first put the goal down, then put the plan in place, then ask the questions, the only thing that's left is tracking. Developing a system to track the activity necessary to do this. What is the activity? To look for a sponsor? That means you typically need to find someone who is a functioning real estate broker in some way, shape, or form, or you may not need one because, again, some licenses require a sponsor, some don't, but you still have to go through these processes. So then skip that, go straight to registration. You say, well, I can't register because it costs money. All right, cool. Then what happened just before you got the money? My point is, the system is more important than the goal. The system is this whole thing. These 3 points, they work together in order for you and I to achieve anything that we're after. Otherwise, we're just hoping. If we're not doing this, if the goal that you told me a second ago, get your first short-term rental, if you don't have a GPT and a triangle, it's not there. Say your goal was, let's make it something that is somewhat intangible. Become a better dad. Awesome. That's the goal. Now what's the plan? What, in your mind, what does that look like? And if you can't come up with something, ask your kids, what does that look like? Okay? And if you can't, and if they can't come up with something, ask your wife, what does that look like? Right? And then you can have a plan, and then it becomes track. This tracking is the part that I find that a lot of people skip because they don't want to be held accountable. We don't want to be held accountable because then we have the opportunity to let somebody down, which is part of the why. Remember, the goal was here. Always go live, 30 days. Had to build the plan, but I didn't want to do that because I knew tracking would be there. It would be really easy to go back and look at the calendar. Did that happen? It would. But I didn't want to feel bad if I didn't get it done, which is why today was especially frustrating. But my point is, every one of your goals can be done that way. All of them. But this is where we get into trouble. is because maybe we see this, we've done this, we've thought about it in some way, shape, or form, but now, and in fact, sometimes it's more fun to have a goal when there's a group of people, right, who are going after the same goal, and maybe 12 of you start, all on the same day. 2 weeks later, somebody's already gotten to the goal. 6 weeks after that, another 5 of them have gotten there. And then 8 weeks after that, it's getting close to the end and people are like, man, how come I haven't done it yet? What's wrong with me? I mean, we all started at the same time. How come I'm not making as much progress as the next person? And this is going to happen to a lot of individuals because, see, the coronavirus situation, it happened to all of us at the same time. Some of you are going to be near coworkers or near people you've always known, and 6 months from now, some of those very same people that you knew, they're going to transform and change, and you're going to be like, wow, how come I didn't make as much progress as them? Or, I mean, it's just going to happen. But the question is it beneficial? It might be permissible, but is it beneficial? Does it help you? I submit for your acceptance that the answer is no. It never has helped us, but it's what we do. So what can we do about it? And this is where, again, following the system is exciting. Here is the unwritten benefit, unwritten benefit of tracking. When you're tracking, you get to see visually your progress. It's a visual representation because that's what's missing in a lot of cases when we're trying to go after a goal. We can't go back, we don't see evidence. See, this tracking becomes evidence of our progress. It's another way of saying, I am on my own success cycle. But if we're not willing to track, we won't know. We will wait for a feeling. We will wait for us to be able to actually attain the goal. And here's the problem with that. If your goal was to get your credit repaired, is that going to happen tomorrow? Like 100% tomorrow? The answer is no. So you think about your goal today and go, okay, cool, here's my goal. Then you think about it tomorrow and go, okay, my goal is still here. Oh my God, it's been a whole day and my credit's still not repaired. Over time, what happens is that we start to feel less than encouraged about ourselves and the goal. And then we either tell ourselves it's not important, we leave it behind, or it's for someone else, and what was missing was the rest of the system. See, with this system, there isn't a goal that's out of your reach because you have it set, clear objectives, you can develop the plan, and during the developing of that plan, you may discover some resources you don't have that you need, and because you're willing to track, you don't need any external encouragement from anyone else. This has nothing to do with circumstances. It has nothing to do with the government. It has nothing to do with your parents. It has nothing to do with anything that you would want to blame because it's all right there. Because you did it up front, you had it in place, and it's easy, literally easy for the world to see. And unfortunately, somebody somewhere trained us that we had to get things right the first time on our own without help. And if we can't be first, then did we really win? Now, don't get me wrong. There's a time for competition. Definitely. I missed my Olympics already. There's a time for competition. But there are some things that does it really matter if you get there first? Think about it for a second. And I want you guys to respond, okay? Here. Let's pretend that your goal is, I'm just gonna make up an easy one. Let's pretend that your goal is $10,000 a month. That's your goal, okay? And let me even make it better. $10,000 a month, all from assets, meaning you don't have to quote unquote work for it anymore. So let me ask you this question. It would be great if it happened tomorrow. I know that. But would you care if it took a year? Would that bother you? If you'd be like, nah, man, if it took a year, it'd have to happen faster than that, then I don't want it. If that's you, like, it has to happen faster than that, and it wouldn't be worth it then. You know, okay, interesting. But okay, what if it took 2 years? 3, 5, 10? Now, mind you, let's throw one more caveat. Let's say it's $10,000 of monthly income earned from assets that adjusts with inflation. Now, which means it's always going to have the same purchasing power as $10,000 does today. So if it took you 10 years to do it, would you not want it then? I mean, would you? Would it be like, nah, man, it's you know what, you can keep it. See, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be first, right? You just have to be the best version of you. And when you are on this system of maintaining your goals and of advancement, you are now free to cheer other people on, to help them succeed, to enable others to succeed to greater heights than yourself. And enjoy that process. Because that's the truth for each and every one of us, is that it's a process. But without this system, I promise you, I would have, I don't know what would have happened today. It was an especially trying situation because I could not figure out why did everything that happened, oh my God. Ayana, you were not, it literally just froze as I was saying that. I don't even understand why that is happening right now.
Oh my gosh. Can they still hear you?
I have no idea.
Let me see.
I don't know. Hey, hold on, something, it looks like it's moving again. Hold on one second.